Hello, I am Simulator Deck, and welcome back to Simulator Deck Trade Sim World. Today we are going to learn how to drive the Azuma. So let's get straight into the introduction. Actually, we'll just do it in the order in which it says. Alright, let's do it. I did find a few different liveries that people have created. Hopefully at the end of this episode we may be able to get one of those to work. We'll see. We'll see if that's actually happening, but if not, we'll do it on a previous episode. On a future episode. We have done it before with the Class 395 on Southeastern High Speed. So we're about to learn about the Azuma, the Class 801.
In this training module, you'll be learning how to drive a BR Class 801 electric multiple unit. During this brief introduction, you will be taken through the critical driving controls and performing passenger operations. When you are ready, climb aboard.
Alright, let's climb aboard. So we're back at the training centre. Oh, so we don't want to go in the fuse cabinet.
Take a seat in the driver's position so that you can prepare the train for service.
Alright.
For this introduction, you'll be completing a full loop of the circuit and performing passenger operations when you reach the next stop.
Okay.
Prepare the train for departure.
Rightio.
To unlock the control desk, you'll need to insert and set the master key.
Master key on.
The reverser is used to determine the direction of travel.
Alright. Reverser to forward. To neutral. We need to get neutral.
To begin loading passengers, you'll need to open the passenger doors.
Open the passenger doors. So we're loading out passengers. So we are loading in passengers. There we go.
It's time to depart. Close the passenger doors.
Alright, it is time to depart. So close the passenger doors. Set the reverser to forward.
This train features a combined power and brake handle. So to get the train moving, move the handle into the power range.
Alright, so we need to apply some more power. Only got 4 notches of power.
Coasting is a method used to efficiently maintain speed and reduce motor stress and maintenance requirements.
That's something I've never thought. Oh, I better coast so the maintenance staff won't have so much to do. I've never thought that.
Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the power handle into the braking range. First introduced in September 2019, the Class 801s were built as a replacement for the aging Intercity 125 and 225 sets, which were the primary trains used on the East Coast Main Line at the time. The Class 801 fleet were designed as purely electric multiple units. However, they feature a single 560 kilowatt diesel engine fitted to one of the coaches for emergency use. This 9-car variant of the class has a maximum power output of over 4,500 kilowatts and has a maximum operating speed of 124 miles per hour.
Oh, they couldn't make it 125 miles an hour? Oh, that's a wicked shot. So that's our maximum speed, 124 miles an hour. Alright, in the max brake. Tell you what, they don't give you a lot of room from going maximum track speed. I'm just going to get it down as quick as possible. No, I didn't want to go into emergency. I don't want to have to go around and do another lap and not finish the scenario. Here we go.
You're now approaching the station, so prepare to slow down the train.
Mate, you want to be more than preparing.
Use the power handle to apply some braking force to bring the train to a gentle stop in the indicated position.
Settle down, Tiger. I'm coming in nice and slow. Okay, I've exaggerated this because I do want to actually stop. Yeah, it's slightly exaggerated, but let's just get in for a stop so I don't have to do another loop and not complete the scenario properly, because it only gives you one chance to do this. Oh, does it really want me to go forward the 6 metres?
Now that the train has stopped, you can open the passenger doors. Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this train.
Yes, and I'm sure Azuma School in real life is just that easy. Alright, so let's continue. Oh, I don't want to do that. We'll go back to the home page. I wanted to do the introduction to the line first. Then I'm going to go back to the training centre because I noticed that there was some interesting buttons. There were some interesting buttons in that cab that I wanted to have a look at and explore from the training centre. Welcome to the East Coast Main Line. Oh yeah.
Welcome to your first day as a trainee driver here on the East Coast Main Line.
Alright, what do you want me to do? I know it says load passengers there, but you're going to give me some instructions? There's the train, obviously.
First opened by the Great Northern Railway in 1850, Peterborough is a vital station on the East Coast Main Line network. This station acts as a major interchange and serves the north and south mainline traffic, as well as long distance and local east and west services.
Oh, and of course it's going to want me to do the "you are looking around Train Sim World," because I've never done this before in my life. Oh, and there's a route map that we're gonna...
There's a missing route map over there.
You gonna show me what it is? Ah, there it is.
There are more tasks to find, so be sure to apply the route maps. Refill water bottles, restock newspaper stands, and restock the first aid points. Head of Driver and Passenger Experience, Emily Turner, would like to speak to you.
Driver and passenger experience? This would be, you know. Oh, I've got to go to the information desk. Take care on the stairs. I was going and redoing all the graphics for the episode art, and I was just thinking about how far we've come in Train Sim World since the very first episodes, and also the GWR. Oh, there she is. Hello. Hello, how's it going? I'm glad I've got the chance to introduce myself to you properly before you start my training. My name is Emily Turner, Head of Driver and Passenger Experience here on the East Coast Main Line. I wanted to congratulate you on getting the role of trainee driver with us in person. It's great to have you on board. Part of my role is to improve the viability of the network and to make sure that all of our drivers and passengers are happy and catered for while travelling with us. Something I think you'll be great at helping us with. Anyway, I'm sure you're keen to get started with your training, but I'll be on call if you need anything or run into any problems. Take care, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. It's a shame they couldn't get somebody to say that. Thank you, see you later. Alright.
Follow the mark.
Enter the train. Standard? Jail? There's a fair few people on here. Oh, now we're in first class. This is more like it. We've got to find an available seat. This is going to be hard.
Take a seat anywhere you like.
Yeah, I've got to find a seat that hasn't got somebody sitting in it. I almost got in trouble when I was in on Long Island with the Long Island Railroad, and it said to me to take a seat, and there was already a lady driver sitting there. We're a pretty full train today. All these people. First available seat I can see. I'm gonna. Oh, hang on. Oh, this must be the galley. Oh, is it gonna let me sit in the cab? Well, I suppose it is an available seat. You do not have permission to drive this service. Can I sit here? Yeah, I can sit here. Well, it doesn't recognise it as a seat. It's got to be a passenger seat. You find me a passenger seat and I'll sit in it. Oh, there's an available seat. Finally found a seat. Alright, I'm sitting in an available seat. Hi, everybody. Or does it want me to go back the 24 yards? Alright. I don't know where it wants me to go. 2 yards, 1 yard. Quite a coach. Alright, I'm sitting in an available seat. I believe this. You tell me. It's... I don't know where it wants me to sit, or am I? I'll go on this train. It's probably not going to let me do this either. Alright, well that's about 3 different seats that I've sat in. Oh, hang on, there's an available seat. Alright, that took a long time. Well, we got there in the end. Might have to pull out a drink. It took me a long time to find a seat on that train. That one that it would let me actually sit in and move the scenario on. That's better. Oh, here we go. Why does that sound like a diesel?
Throughout the years, Peterborough Station has had several different names. Originally just called Peterborough, it was later renamed Peterborough Priestgate, then to Peterborough Cowgate in 1902, before reverting back to simply Peterborough in 1911. During the 1970s, major alterations occurred to this station under British Rail. The track layout was remodelled to provide high-speed through lines and 2 new platforms. The original bay and through platforms were removed, and a brand new platform were built to the west of the fast lines. In 2014, Network Rail spent around £2.5 million on the station and its surroundings, with the intention of increasing passenger capacity on trains and ease the movement of freight through the station. This upgrade has also seen changes to the booking office and station concourse building, along with the introduction of ticket gates.
I don't know why I need to know all this sort of stuff, but it's interesting to me at least. Are you going to tell us anything else about the East Coast Main Line, or is that going to be it?
A unique feature of this route is the flashing green signal aspect, used to trial 140 miles per hour running. Although today this speed is usually not permitted, the signal aspect remains.
Flashing green, eh?
This train is a BR Class 801 electric multiple unit in LNER livery. They were first introduced in 2019 and were built to operate the high-speed express services across the network.
Ah, good old 2019. I remember 2019 well.
As a trainee driver on this route, You will drive this train, as well as the BR Class 66 freight locomotive.
Hang on, I didn't sign up to drive a freight locomotive.
Accelerate and feel the high-speed thrill of British intercity travel in Train Sim World. Express services await on the iconic East Coast Main Line, so hurry through the English countryside between Peterborough and Doncaster in sleek and flashy traction.
Oh, I've been to Doncaster. Been through Peterborough. Alright, there we go. Alright, we are going to go back to the training centre before we do our first scenario, because there were some interesting buttons that I want to explore without necessarily doing that in a scenario. Alright, so we'll go back to... No, that's not what I wanted to do. Maybe I needed to go back to the training centre. Yeah, we'll do that. So we had Metrolink last week. That was fun. Still annoyed that I didn't get to see the earth-shattering kaboom. I was still hoping that they were going to have some sort of cut image just to show, hey, this is what the earth-shattering kaboom looked like in the movie. There was a flash of it off to the side right at the end there on the second pass, but there was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. Alright, here we are at the training centre. I want to go straight back to the Azuma. Wait for everything to draw in. Alright, there was a lot in this cab that I wanted to explore. Alright. Still waiting for everything to draw in. Come on, you guys. That was one of the things I wanted to explore. Passenger information system. 5 cars. Come in, draw in. Right, have we all drawn in yet? I've got a cup holder. It's not as if I'm running 60 million things in the background. We'll go back to this. Unfortunately, the training centre doesn't want to cooperate with us at the moment. We'll see how we go. We'll go straight back into it without turning everything off and then back on again. Training centre. No, we've done both of those. So we'll explore on foot. And we'll try again. And this is why I don't stream apart from anything else. You know, don't have a proper schedule or anything like that. And then I can just record, edit if I remember to edit. Recording a bunch of these in a row because of new Train Sim World 4. So let's see how we go now, shall we? So I've reached driver level 2, according to the post-game summary that I can see in the background. And I've done the Azuma training module. Alright, let's see if you can draw in now. And of course, still waiting for things to draw in, so I can't properly see them to talk to you about them. So let's go through what I can see. Oh, hang on, did we just come good? Yes, we just come good. Good. Alright, cool. Alright, so let's have a look at a few things from around here. So we've got our exterior lights control and status panel. So headlight control switch dimmed, full, off, tail marker. So if I go tail for a minute and we go outside, so that's better, that's drawn in now. Now to turn those red marker lights off. That's interesting, and I know that's something you can do on some of the trains in the UK. You can actually, if you have some sort of hazard, you can turn those lights on as an indication to other drivers. So we'll turn that off. Maybe we have to go to forward. Okay, so we go to forward. Now mark lights are on, that's good. Alright. HVAC temperature. Heating, ventilation and air conditioning 18 degrees, that's cool. Alright, let's have a look. DSD, driver safety system, pedal up and down. Remove feet from DSP pedal before adjusting height. Let's see if it actually... No, they don't work. Alright. Reading light. That'll be one of these little lights above my head, I'm guessing. Desk light. Sometimes you just want the desk light on for a little bit of lighting. Cab central light. That'd be that one. The DSP pedal doesn't work, but that is the DSP pedal, or the vigilance pedal. Or you can actually press it and release it. That's cool. Alright. Have a look at some of these other buttons. The door release. Door train control. Guard control. Okay, that's interesting. Door close. And the signal button, which is, I'd know as a bell. Now this one's an interesting one. CCTV event. So I presume that if there is some sort of event that you want to tell people about. Say you've had somebody standing in front of you or something like that. So it's like hitting the magic button on a dash cam to say, hey, I've had an incident, hit the button, so that marks it as an incident. That's what I'm presuming it is. Interesting place for a PowerPoint. A snow brake. I don't know how that would work in practice. Safety system isolated. So you got an overspeed button, a SPAD button, an AWS button, so I presume they're like reset buttons. Train stop, override, and brake release. Driver reminder advice. So if you're at a signal, or more to the point, if you're at a station and the signal at the end of the platform is at stop, you press that and that reminds you that, hey, there's something I need to check. There may be other uses for it as well, but that's the main one. So brake gauges, not sure what that top one is, percentage. Now this one's interesting. Forward preparation, rear preparation. Maybe you're telling the train that, you know, this is the front, this is the back. I'm not sure how that works. The couple buttons fairly self-explanatory. The train wash button, so you can go through the train wash at slow speed. That'll close the air conditioning vents, that sort of stuff, and also limit the speed. Wheel slip slide. I don't know why that's an actual button to press. Thought that might have been a light, but that's actually a button. ETCS acknowledge, European Train Control System, known in some places as automatic train protection. So if you get an alert comes up here, rather than press the screen, you've actually got a button to acknowledge, which is cool. Your AWS acknowledge, that's your automatic warning system for when you go past signals, etc. And if it's not clear, you'll get a different tone compared to if it's a clear signal. The very important horn. High. Low. Driver safety system override. Train fault acknowledge. So are our pans up at the moment? Our pantograph, yes it is. Okay, our pantograph is there, which gets the power from the overhead wiring into the train. So let's go back to the cab. Let's press pan down and see if that actually worked. Oh yes, there it is, it actually dropped. So you've actually got a cover, and you can hear it whirring in the background, and that's gone back up. And there it drops again. So that's cool. So the pantograph buttons work. What's the electric button? It's interesting that they've got the shield over the pan up button. Alright, let's have a look what else is here. Windscreen wipers, demister, fans, windscreen wiper speed. Okay, so I did mention in the introduction that there is one diesel engine for if, say, there's a fault and you've got your pan down. Okay, so we'll just check that our pan's down. So our pan's down. So theoretically, let's see if this actually works. We need to go into diesel mode because, say, the overhead wiring's down or whatever. Diesel pressed. Engine start. Alright, let's see if that is actually... So we need to press, after we activate that, we need to press the diesel button for the diesel to work. Push the diesel push button to allow the system to configure for engine operation. Alright, so we'll do that. Diesel. Engine start. Oh, I did press that. Maybe maybe it's there, but they haven't modelled it. That could be the thing. So I don't have it. Oh, hang on, we're moving. We're in diesel mode. We're in diesel mode. I don't know how fast we'll go in diesel mode, but we're in diesel mode. So say this section of overhead's isolated in here. This is one of many uses, I'm guessing. Do we need to push the diesel button every time we power? Let's see how fast we can go. Right, let's bring the train to a stop. Alright, so in theory now, stop the engine. Electric mode. Pan up. And we're back in electric mode. Alright. So we figured out that the electric mode and the diesel mode actually do work in this. Okay. Train radio, not expecting that to work. So the emergency brake. So we know that we're in 801 class and this is set 234 and we're in vehicle 821234. Alright, so this is interesting. My passenger information screen. Destination Paddington. Next stop Swindon. So if we go into the carriages, will we actually see that? Maybe that work. Oh, okay, it's 10:15. Maybe that'll work in a scenario. Or in timetable mode. Maybe that works. Alright, let's get back in the cab. Alright, let's have a look at this passenger information screen and see if it works. Home. Dark screen. Oops, should have done that. Oh, that would have been another way. You can see the pantograph up icon in the front car. So if we drop the pan again, and there we go, it's, so if we put in diesel mode and press engine start, does anything different come up? Alright, the pans are up. Well, the front pan's up at least. Don't know how much. Door selection. Can we select doors, can we? So if I hit door release, okay, so it matches what I've just pressed, actually matches. So if we close them, there we go. So that actually worked. Mind you, I've never been in the cab of an Azuma, so I don't know how it's supposed to work, but that worked. Oh, here we go. Auto announce. Traction status. So tell me the back pantograph is down. So if I pantograph down, oh, that says down as well. Cool. Pan up, and it says pan up, so it matches the status. Next stop reminder. What was that for me? On. Some of these things may not work. Piano selection. Confirm. Oh, I managed to raise the back pantograph from here. So if I wanted to, I could say select the front one, confirm, and then drop only the front one. I think. And we'll confirm that, and we'll put that up. So both pantographs are up. What else can we see in here? Engine status. eco driving. Some of these things may not actually work. Brake status. I don't understand bars, so rather than kilopascals, pantograph selection, we've done that. Journey. Saloon status. Some of these might not be modelled. I don't know what dual mode is. So outside there it was telling me that it's 16 degrees. Alright, emergency brake. So that'd be the train radio, contact the signaller. Don't know if that'll actually work in game. So we'll get out of the seat, because I'm sure there's other things we're going to have to okay, so that's our local door controls. Oh, so if somebody wanted to be a guard, I guess they could do that there. Caution electricity. Oh, okay, over here is probably some of the things we're going to have to okay, so unisolate VJ, unisolate PWS, AWS, automatic warning system on. Traction interlocking is on, DRA is on, selective door isolation is normal. What's ADD? The PASCOM, that's Cinecoms. Driver safety system. Okay, hold mode, temporary isolation TWPS. I've probably got to acknowledge something here. Hang on, standby. Alright, what's beeping at me?
TPWS and AWS operational.
Thank you. So as far as I can see, I've... Oh. Oh, unit hatch. I wonder if that'll work. That's the one at the front. Alright, so that's probably the limit. Pardon me. That's probably about the limit of what I wanted to have a look at. Now, they don't actually tell you a lot about any of this stuff. You've really got to do something else to you're really going to see other videos to learn how to do all that sort of stuff. Alright, so I'm going to head off to do a scenario or a timetable run. We will quit back to the main menu. And we will actually try and go somewhere now. We're an hour in, but I did want to have a look at that cab in some detail. To the trains. Pick a train. Alright, let's see our scenarios. Hot seat. Battle against the effects of a scorching heat wave. What, it's going to be 25 degrees in Doncaster. Navigate around speed restrictions and line side obstructions whilst you attempt to reach your destination. Think you can take the heat? Testing the limits. Experience the thrills of high speed as you perform a series of tests with a Class 801. Limping off. Drive an 801 to the depot under diesel power and prepare a replacement for service. And in threes, attempt to get your train to Doncaster while battling the effects of a fierce storm. Let's try diesel mode first. And see what happens, because it's going to have to guide you through, because that's not part of the 5 seconds of training that you do. Let's see what it wants you to do, because it should talk me through the process. So we'll see what happens. Now, there are some models that I think they have more diesel engines than just one somewhere on the train. So you can still run as a diesel in regular service at regular speed. I know the replacements for the XPT in New South Wales, where I'm from, is supposed to have that dual mode where you can run off the overhead in the electric area and then drop the pantograph, start the diesels, and off you go for when you get away from the wires. So I think that's how we're going to go, but it should talk us through this scenario anyway. This is alright, limping off. Oh, hang on. There's an actual diesel there. Good afternoon. This unit has suffered an electrical fault and will need taking to the depot under the power of the diesel engine. Talk to Emily to get started. Convenient that you're here. Hello. Hi, driver. This train needs taking to the depot due to an electrical fault. Take this train to the depot and collect a replacement train so you can continue your service. Will do, I say. Alright. Oh, and it's raining. Oh, that's car A. I want to see that actually working. Destination, coach, departure time, next stop, and... oh, it's just changed, not in service. There we go. And the raindrops there are nice too. Alright. Alright. Alright, Emily, I'm going. Now, I wonder... Alright, so we'll sit in the seat. Alright, set the master key to on. On. Set the reverser to neutral. Press the unit hatch close button. Is my hatch open? Oh, it is too. Because it was just attached to the diesel. That's going to be cool cover art. Alright. So that's a stand up and go unit hatch close. So now if we have a look outside, if we have a look outside, yep, our hatch is closed. Alright, so we've got to press now the diesel button. Alright, so press the diesel button. This is the power changeover. Diesel pressed. Press and hold the engine start button. Press the pantograph down button. Alright, the pantograph's dropping. Set the reverser to forward. And we need some wipers. Now, if the diesel engine is under one of the passenger cars, like it said in the tutorial, we won't necessarily be able to hear it running. So we're going to the Doncaster Depot, Road 3. Now it would be nice here if when we get to this signal we actually have to call the signal. Let's see, let's try it. Proceed as signals indicate. Okay, we got the signal now. So that's cool. You can actually press the handset and something will actually tell you to do something. Wait on signals, or that's cool. So we're coming into the yard. Now it's not going to be high speed because we're in a yard. That's cool. And sometimes this is what it is. It's just a slow run into the yard. Bit of power occasionally, but not much. It's a 5-mile-an-hour speed limit. There's a train wash, I would say. So I'm presuming one of these ones up here is the one that I need to collect. Now it surprises me that the last signal that we had to stop at was the actual last one that I've seen, and we've been able to go all this way. We're going into the shed. There's our stopping marker, 400 yards away. I'm just amazed what they can simulate. So I've never been into this depot at Doncaster, but I can imagine this is what it would look like. And this is what it would feel like to take an Azuma in there. This is cool. Probably turn the windscreen wiper off now. Even the hearing people, the sounds of people dropping their tools. I suppose this would be in some ways no different to the southeastern javelin, which was able to alternate its power supplies. here we go. Alright, well, so we've done that good work of getting the train back to the depot. There's a replacement train ready for you to drive back to Doncaster, shut down this train and climb aboard the replacement train. So we'll do that. Alright. Power handle. Power handle to off. Reverser to off. Headlight control switch to tail. Master key to off. I'm not going to shut the diesel down. And exit the train. How did I get all the way over there? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I don't know too much about what happened. I just had to bring it from the station. But the yeah, it's been cut out. I've had to drop the pans, so I've just got here on diesel power, so I don't know what's wrong with it. Alright, she's all yours. Climb aboard, walk to your new train. So I'm going to stay on the path here because I don't know, is this train here actually my new train? Oh, they're the same card, the same set numbers. That's not good. Yep, pants are down. Oh, did it want me to walk over there first? Oh, so that's not my train, so I'm glad. How you doing? I was hoping to keep my hair dry. Yeah, before we do all that, I'll turn all these safety systems on. Alright. Oh, I should have been over there. Hang on. Press and hold the auxiliary on for 10 seconds. Alright. Set the master key to on. Set the reverser to neutral. Press the AWS button.
TPWS and AWS operational.
The points will need setting before we can depart. Set the points to create a route back to the main line. Hang on. Press the pantograph up button. Alright. Reverser to forward.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Alright, so we're going to go down, change the points. Surprised we didn't need any signals at all. With this yard being this big, I thought the yard would have had more signalling than this. We will finish with some high-speed Azuma running, by the way. I'm not going to say, okay, well, there's our Azuma episode. We went no more than 10 miles an hour. apart from at the training centre. Still got 700 yards to go. Then again, that's life as a driver. It's not all about zooming around at 125 miles an hour. That's a good bit. But somebody's got to do plenty of this stuff too. So I don't get it. We've got these signals, but then we need to change the points. The sign on the signal said stop, so I stopped. Does that mean it stopped raining? So we've got to wait for the back of our train to clear that 15 mile an hour speed board, which we've just done. But just around the corner we've got a signal at stop, which is where we need to stop anyway. I activated the ADA. Now it's cleared it. Alright, a train has just left Doncaster and will be passing shortly. Proceed to Doncaster station once the track is clear. Okay, so we've got to wait for the train to pass. So, this whole thing of needing to change the points, we didn't need to change the points after all that. Yes, their points have to change after the train passes, but we don't have to do it by the looks of that. Alright. Doncaster, platform 1. Not now. Alright, doors are open. Nice driving out there. Let's see how you did. Thank you muchly. So the other driver will take over. Use safety systems. I use safety systems. Junction changes 300 points for changing for a junction. 32 times speeding. That might have been a kilometre or two over, or a mile or two over at some stages. So we are going to do this next scenario, which is high speed running. Woo! Alright, this is going to be a long episode, but it's been a while, so... Alright, testing the limits. Here we go. Oh, we're going to go speak to old mate again, do we? Good morning. Today you'll be undertaking trials in this Class 801 as part of its routine maintenance. These tests will check the train's performance and braking capabilities to ensure that it's ready and certified to return to service. So we need to go and talk to old mate. Hello. Hello, how's it going? Alright. I hope you're ready and raring to go. I've spoken with the signaller and received confirmation that you'll be running non-stop at full line speed to Newark Northgate. Don't worry about signals or other services, as you should have a clear route all the way, so you shouldn't encounter any disruptions. Anyway, I won't keep you any longer, and good luck with your journey. Take care. That's great, thank you. Alright, green signals ready to go. We'll get in the seat. Alright. And we'll do all this stuff. Dim. Master key on. Reverser to neutral. Reverser to forward. I just did that, didn't I? Went too far. Reverse it to forward. As part of the performance and speed test, you'll be incrementally increasing in speed and attempting to reach the Azuma's top speed of 125 miles an hour. Roger that. To get started, apply some power to get the train moving and aim to reach a speed of 60 miles per hour. 10-4. Reach a speed of 60 miles per hour. Okie dokie. Well, track speed of... Better not go too fast at the moment. We've got a track speed coming up at 25 miles an hour. Oh, there's a freighter. Hey, buddy. That's cool. Reach a speed of 160. Sorry, 60 miles. 160 miles an hour. Whoa. Speed of 80. Well, in max power. Max power. I didn't see what that message said. Okay, so we're coming up to 80 miles an hour. Okay, want us to reach 100. We'll just keep going the way we're going. Nice job. Now keep the power applied and aim to reach 100 miles an hour. That's what we're working on. Okay, now we've been told to reach 125. You're almost there now. Keep the power applied and aim to reach a target speed of 125 miles an hour. Why have I got music in my ears? There it is. Good work. The target speed has been reached and the train is showing no signs of any faults or mechanical issues. I feel I should have been in this mode. Oh, the music stopped. Oh, there's that flashing green that we're talking about in the introduction. Notice a little bit of vibration on the control when you go over points. There's that flashing green again. So back in the day you would have been able to do 140 miles an hour apparently. I did notice there was an achievement actually for doing 126 miles an hour in the Azuma when it's only supposed to be 125. That's a scary view. And of course you wouldn't be able to do it in the real world. There's another flashing green. That's just so odd to me, a flashing green. So we've got 12 miles to go before our next waypoint. It's just after 5 AM. Look at it. I can imagine in the summer this is what it would look like at 5:12 in the morning. Ah, my screen's frozen. Gee, that froze for a while there. Now, of course, they say that the train's rated to, say, 125 miles an hour in this instance. That's not to say, of course, that the train, if it goes 126 miles an hour, will instantly fall apart. There's always a upper limit that they do set on the train, which is its absolute capacity. Now, I don't know what the figure would be in this train. Let's say it's 140. And that will be limited to that speed. But for passenger comfort, it'd be set for 125, where you can actually do it. But just because the train goes 126 doesn't mean that the train's going to fall apart. Now, I know of one train in my neck of the worlds where it was rated for 130 in service, But during testing, I got up to the absolute upper limit of what I can do, and then the train shuts down. You know, for safety. But it'll be awesome. So 200. So this is 200 kilometers an hour, to put it in language that I really understand. You know, in Australia, I haven't been on a train that can do 200 kilometers an hour for ages. Maybe the Queensland Tilt train would have been the only train that I would have been on that would have been capable of that. In Europe and in the UK, I went on Eurostar, the TGV, the ICE. So all of those trains were well and truly able to do basically what we're doing now, you know, or more. The Shinkansen in Japan, which you can now play on Train Simulator Classic, by the way. There's a couple of episodes of Train Simulator Classic where you can actually drive the Shinkansen that I've done. So that was awesome. So we're 5.5 miles away from our next waypoint, and we've got a speed reduction coming shortly. So not that we'll necessarily need to brake a lot, but just some minimum brake will bring it down. And sometimes if they're testing for something in particular and they do need to go above the normal track speed, you can get the train operator gets a waiver from basically from the train operating company. You get a waiver, and that will nominate the speed that you can do on certain sections of track. I thought they might have actually done that here, but they haven't. Now, on a lot of trains, there's no cruise control. You might think there's cruise control. So you can say the track speed's 115. You can say you can just punch into the screen or into the system, cruise control 115. Doesn't work like that, unfortunately. You know, your driverless trains would be able to, but for those controlled by humans, I know there's a couple that I've used on Train Simulator and Train Sim World, I think, that have had cruise control in them, or and a device that restricts the speed. You select the speed and it won't go above that. So in about a mile we've got our waypoint, and we've got another speed reduction to 100 miles an hour, which is a casual 160 kilometers an hour. So we're just setting up for that now. So everything's appeared to be working as it should. So there's our waypoint. So stop at Newark Northgate platform 3 in 14 miles. So our speed zone's gone up to 115 again, and we'll soon be going up to 125. Whoops. Wrong button. That's freaky when that happens. Ten miles away from our waypoint now. Yep, well everything's working as it should. I love these sort of test runs, or these sort of empty out of service runs, especially when they tell you, hey look, don't worry about the trains ahead of you, don't worry about the signals. Of course you've always got them in the back of your mind, but if they've gone to the trouble of organising a special path for you so you can do some high speed testing, and you get to do it, of course you're gonna think about the speeds, but would be rather happy to receive them and to be able to drive them, and to know that you shouldn't have any other trains ahead of you. But of course, the railway being the railway, you have to be prepared for the occasions that you don't. So about 6 miles to go, I think that says. Now, of course, I don't know these places, so I can't say how accurate they are, but they look pretty fine. Oh, we've been recording for 2 hours and 22 minutes. Our speed's dropped a bit, so we'll go ahead. This will probably be our last time with the power on for our next waypoint, because we actually need to stop at our next waypoint in just under 5 miles now. So yeah, slow down. Now I don't know, because I've never driven a train at this speed and I don't drive trains in England, how much they expect me in this situation. They'd expect you to slow down. There's another, oh, that just changed to green as I approached it. I don't know, when you see a double yellow like that, I don't know what they expect you to slow down to. 2 miles. Yeah, we've got a 30k speed zone coming up for the stations there. We'll need to start braking soon. I've already started. There's another double yellow. So we'll just bring it down. So 1.5 miles for 30 miles an hour. That'd be just before the station, I'm guessing, or around about the same time, because that's our, whoops, this is a pretty good speed to come in. Single yellow. So I'm going to try the next signal as if it's at stop in about 1/2 mile. So this was the situation before. You said you know trains ahead of you and you shouldn't have to worry about the signals, but in the back of your mind, you know that when you get to major points, that you've got to be prepared for these things. And that's not including the things like emergencies, broken rails, all of that sort of stuff. It's not including any of that. Should be able to actually see the signal soon. Now, with this one, I actually had all the safety systems turned off. Now you can turn all these little icons off, and they can actually reduce your visibility of the signal. Okay, it just changed. That's a four-eared rabbit. So the signal must be at the end of the platform. So if I get relieved, up here and I can get to go home, I can jump on that train next to us, if it's still there by the time I stop. Alright. Let's see, what does it want us to do next? Good work. The first set of tests have gone well and the train looks to be operating without any issues. For this next set of tests, you'll head back to Peterborough, so you'll need to change ends, shut down this cab and head to the rear of the train. Oh, we're not going home. Hang on, we're not there yet. Headlight control to off. rev down. Reverser to off. Cool. There we go. Alright, let's go. Where are these guys going? Oh, they're going to New York anyway. Ah, this looks like a full length for Azuma. I'm only driving out of these little baby 5-car ones. Master key on. Reverser to neutral. Pantograph up. Oh, it wants it on dim. Reverser to forward. For this series of tests, you'll be repeating the incremental speed and braking tests as well as testing the emergency brake to confirm that everything is operating reliably and as expected. 10-4. Alright, here we go. Max Power. If you know the Max Power song, sing it. Max Power. Alright, reach 80, we're working on it. Reach 100. So we're approaching 100. Reach 120. Now I know why they're doing this, because they're setting you up to get to max speed and then press and then use the emergency brake. But we already know that train can do 125. We already know that because we did it on the way down. Now the train is up to speed. Perform an emergency stop. Rightio, here we go. Emergency stop. Oh, you gotta press the emergency stop button. Where's that? Oh, that emergency stop button. So I didn't actually have to whack it into emergency. I just had to press the emergency stop button, or the emergency brake button. Now, the train has come to a stop. Power handle to off. Press the emergency button again. Nice job, the train has been successfully recovered and you can now proceed onwards to your destination. Alright, so from a standing start, let's watch. Uh-oh, what have we done? What have we done? What haven't we done? Come on, mouse. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Turn it off, turn it back on again. Why was it hard to go for that level crossing if I'm just sitting here? Oh, so both of the emergency buttons weren't out. That's a faulty level crossing radio. Area Controller 1, Delta 32, faulty level crossing wherever I am. Boom gate and bells not operating while train close to level crossing. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to get up to speed again. And then we're going to press the emergency brake and the emergency brake only. And we're only going to press that one on the left hand side. So we'll get up to 125. Because they didn't say. I'm just using my real world and also my train sim mod knowledge that you put the train in, you put the brake into emergency, you don't worry about pushing the button. So we'll be in 4 notch, we'll be in max power, because no one snuggles with max power. You just strap yourself in and feel the G's. And we'll just repeat that test just to make sure that it works. And we're not even going to touch that one. That's meant for someone sitting in the second person seat or the assistant driver seat, and they need to push the emergency button. And then what we might do, once we stop, we'll turn all the driver safety systems on. And as a driver, as soon as you hit that emergency button, or you put the train into the emergency braking position, you've got no further control. So 103 miles an hour. You've got no further control. You've done everything that you can do. So we're coming up to 115 mile an hour zone. We probably won't have to do much for that because we're pretty much there now. Now, 115 miles per hour is still rocking. What we might do is we'll simulate the emergency at the start of the platform. We'll go into 4 notch here, just so we're Station's coming up. Now we are going 121 for the purposes of this demonstration. There's the platform. Oh crap. And now you're just waiting for the train to stop, and there's nothing you can do. Whatever the situation of the station was, it's all the way back there. You know, we're still doing 30 miles an hour. The station's all the way back there. Oh, that's what we were going to do. Turn all the safety systems on.
TPWS and AWS operational. TPWS and AWS operational.
What haven't I done?
TPWS and AWS operational.
See, I didn't press that emergency brake that time. I only pressed this one.
TPWS and AWS operational. TPWS and AWS operational.
What haven't I done? What did I do then? Come on, what haven't I done? Alright, I can't think what I've done.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Well, it has done it. It has dropped that back pan. There we go. Don't know what I did that was so different to any other time that I did, but we're on our way. There's our train hazard lights on. We can turn them off now. What now? I'm frozen. After all that. After all that, I'm frozen. I don't want to end the episode this way because the scenario's not complete. I don't want it to end like this. Thankfully. Why can't I get back into my cab view now? Oh, we recovered after that little drama. I thought it was all frozen. I thought we were going to have to say goodnight. How long have we got to go before we're due back? Okay, so they're the chimes that you can, or the noises that you can hear when we're coming up to a green signal. I don't have to do anything to acknowledge it. So that noise is the vigilance. We're 2.5 miles away from doing 125. Horn still work. There's the chime to say we're passing a green signal. Should we get another one? Alright, here we go. How fast are we going over Meow? Oh, we're only doing 87 miles an hour. Let's go. I'll put it this way, we've given everything a thorough workout, according to my brain. Train Simwald's doing his usual thing of choppy audio. Pardon me. Another green light. So you hear the noise just before the signal, and you hear it, and it's like, oh, that's good news. That's a VJ. Interesting that there's no actual vigilance button that I can see. So there's the good news, and there's the good news. The good news chime, and then confirmation of the good news when you see the green signal. Especially in restricted visibility. It's very handy. And to think we've been recording for 3 hours and 20 minutes now, basically, and I still haven't done a passenger service. Still haven't got the marker for how far Peterborough is away yet. And the way vigilance basically works, I don't know what the English settings are for how long it is, but if you don't do something that's consistent with what you're actually doing, so powering, braking, blowing the horn, turning on the headlight, things like that, if you don't do it for a certain period, you'll get that warning. So if we power now, that means that we're doing something, so we're still here. That's the chime for the signal. So if I go to off now, that means that I've done something else, so the vigilance cycle restarts. I think there's even a light. A vigilance light. There's the sunflower which comes up on the top of the dash when you've got a restricted signal that you're coming up to. Okay, so this will indicate, this will show us a sunflower maybe because we've got a restrictive signal coming up because it's not green. Although that could change by the time we get near it. So we may hear a different tone. Now of course in real life I don't have a heads up display. No, that's just changed. So the good chime's there, and then by the time we get the signal it's definitely clear because we heard the single chime. So another clear signal. So if I can see in the distance that I've got a double yellow coming up, I can also slow down a bit. Before I get to that signal. You know, if I keep on seeing double yellow, double yellow, double yellow, double yellow, well I know that I've got something in front of me. But if I keep on seeing greens, that's all good. Still got no idea how far Peterborough's away. So at the moment the heads-up display is showing a yellow. It may not be yellow by the time we get close to the transponder or the buoys. Okay, there it is. Oh, that was the VJ. So I had to acknowledge that because I hadn't done anything for a bit. So I'm waiting for a double yellow to actually be yellow by the time I get to it. Oh, I've driven 80 miles in the Azuma. I would drive 80 miles and I would drive 80 more. Okay. Okay, so... Okay, so the sunflower came up and it's still up, indicating to me that we've got a signal that isn't green ahead. Some sort of caution signal. Sunflowers come up on the dash now. Okay, it's just cleared. And so we heard the chime and the sun shower when the sun shower went out. Not the sun shower, the sunflower. It's been a long day. The sunflower went out once the system had detected that the signal ahead was actually green again. I haven't seen another train for a while. Horn actually sounds alright. Now, of course, if I knew the area, I'd be able to give you a rough idea of how far Peterborough's away, but I've got no idea where I am. And the little marker hasn't come up yet. And the speed limits haven't changed. I don't know what that little message was. Oh, you are now nearing Peterborough, so begin to reduce your speed and start applying some braking force. Rightio. So they've got us going onto platform 3. Coming up to some sort of caution signal. Why can't I power now? With a vigilance penalty? AWS.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Well, we didn't press that. Oh, because what it's basically saying is we didn't slow down and acknowledge, or we didn't acknowledge the AWS warning quickly enough, and then we had to reset it over here, which we didn't do until just now. But we know that's working now, don't we? Oh, then it doesn't help that my screen freezes, my game freezes. Is you trying to acknowledge it? And then it decides it wants to do it again. Oh, so you gotta press that when you're in neutral. Rightio. So you gotta come to a stand, be in neutral, acknowledge it, or clear it. So we should get the different beep for the caution signal coming up. There's the transponder. Or I thought was the transponder. Okay, this should be it coming up. Now, I don't want to risk that the station is on the other side of the signal. Now, of course, if I had road knowledge, I'd know where I am. And the little marker for Peterborough hasn't come up. And that's the station there. So the signal's at the other end of the platform. That would indicate that the signal is at stop at the end of the platform. I'm just going to roll in nicely. Oh no, not now. You know, that will actually do us. Objective complete. Great work. This train has passed all of its tests successfully and will soon be back in regular service. Let's see how you did. Boy, that was a longer one. Let's see how I do. Come on. How do I do? Come on, I want to know how I did after all that. Oh, now it's decided that it doesn't want to respond again. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm nearly level 37 personally, level 6 for both the train and the lion. An hour and a half to drive 87 miles. And that's all good. So thankfully, after all that, we got back. The train's all good. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.